Welcome. I bid you welcome. This is John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad, and I'm coming to you from my music corner of the world. This is day 4 of ApologetiX April. So, welcome to my little series talking about that Christian parody band, ApologetiX. And today we take a look at, we're going to take actually a look at 2.5 albums, kind of, sort of. We're going to take a look at this first one called Keep the Change. Okay. Now, this one has 19 tracks. And your lineup for this band, for this particular album, still is Jay Jackson on vocals and lyrics. Parody lyrics. You got, of course, Keith Messner on Carl Messner on guitar, Keith Haney on bass, and now we bring in a fellow named Bill Rieger on drums. Of course, you still have Bill Hubauer playing on keyboards. Keith Harrell would play a couple drums on a couple tracks, and Fred Bahana, who was on a previous album, will contribute some additional percussion. So this one comes out in October 2001. The significance, I don't know if you can tell this, the significance with this is you got all the 4 members of the band, and you have these different years under their heads. They all have the quarters, as you can see. And the story goes that was the year that each of the members were saved, when they professed their faith in Jesus, and gave their life to God. So that's where you get Keep the Change from. Now, on this one, we tack our ApologetiX is tackling a bunch of, again, 19 songs, and you get a long, just a whole list of all kinds of stuff that they're covering. We get let's see, we get a song by 9 Days. They do the song of they do the parody of Absolutely, a story of a grill. The song Story of a Squirrel is what this one that they do. They do the Monkees again, Three Doors Down, classic, and one of my favorite parodies of ApologetiX, called Christmas Night, which is a parody of Kryptonite, of course, by Three Doors Down. They do Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, Bethlehemian Rhapsody, the Bee Gees, Bob Seger, Eminem. They do the Real Sin Savior, parody, of course, of the Real Slim Shady. They do the Knack, Elton John, Blink 182, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Three Dog Night, Shaggy, which is they do a parody of the song Angel, which is a song called Manger. Let's see, they do the Steve Miller Band, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Limp Bizkit, AC/DC, and Papa Roach. The Limp Bizkit of song is they cover the song, the parody of the song Nookie, and of course Papa Roach, they do Life Restored. Now, again, they're cooking on all cylinders. All of the songs just sound spot on, and they do a fantastic job. This is one of the CDs I probably listen to quite a lot. There's a lot of songs on here that I really fell in love with. I really like the parody of Nookie. I'm not crazy about the original Limp Bizkit song, but this one I did like. I'm not familiar with the Papa Roach song at this point, so this was kind of a first for me to actually hear this song, and I think it was a great track. I would actually see ApologetiX twice in concert, and one of the times they did the song Life Restored instead of Last Resort. And I can remember Jay talking about how in the 80s that a lot of the hair metal bands would come together, and about the only way they could ever get played on radio is if they played these nice, soft, mushy little power ballad songs about, because it was nice commercial sound. And, sometimes it would show a nice little different side of the band. And this next song is not one of those. And of course, they started doing Life Restored, and it was they did a bang up version of that. So to me, this was a definite favorite of mine. Definitely listened to this quite a bit. Next up, they would do, this would come out in August of 2002. This one's called Grace Period. Yeah, you got Carl in the back there with a drumstick playing the solo. So, and Jay's kind of standing there. I'm not really sure what Jay's doing. Everybody else is playing strong, but Carl's back there playing on a drumstick. Grace Period. We get you get the title of Grace Period, where it's kind of like a play off of Ephesians 8:2, 8, and 9. For it is by grace you've been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves; it is a gift from God, or a gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. So, as this verse points out, we are saved by grace. Period. So that's where you get the idea for Grace Period. This one, we get 20 tracks. They kick it off with a parody of Linkin Park's In the End. They do a take on a song called, there are songs called Corinthians. And the song is basically kind of a look at how, like an example would be MTV, and how MTV was becoming just not leaving a whole lot to the imagination, or just Hollywood in general. They make references to like Jennifer Lowe and Britney Spears and some of the outfits they would wear and stuff like that. And so a lot of it was really about sexual purity, essentially. Then they would go to Simon and Garfunkel, the Monkees. Although this version of I'm a Believer is really more like the Smash Mouth version of it. Village People, Michael Jackson / Alien Ant Farm. Here they do Smooth Criminal, and theirs is called Smooth Grandmama. Absolutely hilarious, worth checking out. It's really a great version of it. They do The Devil Went Down to Georgia, but this one was called Devil Went Down to Jordan by the Charlie Daniels Band. Drop of Lucifer, which is a parody of Drops of Jupiter by Train. They also tackle Bruce Springsteen, Uncle Kracker, Blue Oyster Cult, Styx, Nickelback, The Who, The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Puddle of Mud, Rush, David Bowie, Nirvana, and they end off with a parody of Barbara Ann called Bah, We're Lambs. So the Beach Boys. So that is Grace Period. This would be another one that I would listen to quite a bit, especially for the Linkin Park song. I really liked Corinthians. I was not familiar with them at this point, Linkin Park, that is. So I wasn't familiar with who they were as a band. So so that song, I don't know, I connected with Corinthians because that's part of my story. I should also note, going back to Keep the Change here, this actually did well on a charts. The National Christian Retailers Booksellers Bestsellers Rock charts. It actually climbed up to number 15. So there you go. That's a pretty cool little thing. Now, one last, this is where the 2.5 comes in that I mentioned. Now this doesn't have a cover per se. I'll show this. But they in late 2002 would come out with this little thing called Have Yourself a Parody Little Christmas. And that's the CD of it. Now, what's on this? So this one they do Micah number 5, which is a parody of Mamba number 5 by Lou Brego. December 5th or 6th BC, Oh Holy Night, which is a parody of the Oh What a Night from the Four Seasons, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. They do Panama. They parody Panama with Santa Claus, which is kind of funny. They parody Hotel California, and their version is called Hotel Can't Afford You. Some of these tracks had already been previously released. Manger, which was of course the angel song from Shaggy, and Christmas Night, the parody of Kryptonite from Three Doors Down. So that would come out as well. So you get a little Christmas CD as a bonus for 2002. So there you have it. So that is my quick look at Keep the Change, Grace Period, and I turned the cover inside out, but Have Yourself a Parody Little Christmas. So with that, I am John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad from my music corner of the world. And I am here doing my apologetics series, ApologetiX April. Let me know what you think. I hope you've had some connection to the band in some way, shape, or form. And I will see you tomorrow.